Time Wizard Tuesday coming at you guys. Today we are coming back with another interesting deck. I decided to build a hand control deck for Edison Format. I was a big fan of Smoke Grenade Thief and Gearfried and the plays with Blast of Chain, and I really just wanted to try and build an Edison deck to test that out. So first things first, let's go through the deck list. We'll talk a little about the card choices I have, and then we'll talk about a replay. So I only had time to record one replay. Fair, just throwing it out there. But there is a game after this. All right. So first things first, we do play Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind because Gale gives us the availability of Power Tool Dragon, which allows us to grab 3 equips from our deck. And also Gale halves and all the other great things that Gale can do. We are on double Breaker because Breaker is absolutely insane. Honestly, maybe triple Breaker would be good. I'm not entirely sold on that. But Breaker's a very strong card. And then we have double Cyber Dragon because we really need that extra special summon. We need the push because all of our monsters are kind of small. And, well, there's some interesting things that can come up with the Cyber Dragons, obviously. So, very powerful card for this deck. Then we have DD Warrior Lady for our spot removal and just an annoying card. Everybody, hates to see DD Warrior Lady swinging into their face down Shining Angel or whatever they're playing. Just get rid of a big guy, take a little damage. Don Zalug for a little more hand control. This is one of those cards I wasn't sure if I was going to include, but since I included a couple of the other cards, I was like, you know what? I got to throw that OG Don Zalug in there. So there is one copy of Don Zalug. Triple Gearfried the Iron Knight. I will admit, though, if I'm going to drop something for Breaker to play 3, it would probably be Don Zalug. So triple Gearfried the Iron Knight. For those that do not remember what this card does, Gearfried is if either player equips an equip card to this card, destroy the equip card. So simple enough, destroys whatever equips to it. We have Mobius. Mobius is there to help us destroy back row and to destroy our own back row as well. We have double Mystic Tomato just for floaters so we can keep, some kind of advantage in the game. We need some floating cards here because a lot of our cards are just neg. You just neg a card and you got to hope that you're also making your opponent neg as a card. Otherwise, it's not going to go good for you. And then we have Plague Spreader Zombie because Plague Spreader is Plague Spreader is Plague Spreader. It does great things. You can float into a tomato. You can grab it off a Sangan. Just a good generic level 2. So basically, I played the 2 generic tuners that you can put into pretty much any deck. And then Sangan. Sangan grabs us our smaller cards. It can grab Treeborn. It can grab Spirit Reaper. It can grab Plague, Tomato, Warrior Lady, Zalug, Gale. So we can also float into it with the Mystic Tomato. And then, of course, we're on Spirit Reaper because sometimes you just need to set a card install. You just need that guy that can't die, and, we're chilling. And then double Thestalos because we are going, like I said, for that hand control. So we do play 2 Thestalos in the deck and 1 Treeborn Frog. So the Treeborn Frog, honestly, with this deck, you don't have back row sticking around for too long. I know in the replay, there was one game where I had a bunch of back row, but that was a game where I wasn't really expecting to see the Treeborn, so I was like, it's fine, I'll just set these, and everything I had, I could play and free up the Treeborn if need be. Let's go on to our equip cards. We have Autonomous Action Unit, so this is pay 1,500 life points, target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon that target to your side of the field in face-up attack position. All right, so basically, it's a Monster Reborn equip spell that cost you 1,500 life points. Except you can't get anything from your graveyard. But it is a nice little tech card there to steal big cards from your opponent. And just a fun card overall. So I figured I'd throw one in. You can grab it with Hidden Armory. You can grab it off Power Tool. Just a fun card to try around, test around with and see if it's good. And then Brain Control because it's Edison Format. You got to play the Brain Control. All right, and then we have a double Enemy Controller just to help us with stopping attacks, running over things with big attack, low defense, and of course, comboing with the Treeborn Frog in the standby phase. Then we have Heavy Storm for obvious reasons. 1 copy of Hidden Armory. I decided to play 1 Hidden Armory over Iron Blacksmith Kotetsu because basically you can activate this whenever you want to. So if you already have a Gearfried out and your opponent was not able to out the big 1,800 Gearfried, Then, of course, you are simply chilling. You can hit an armory, grab a smoke grenade, continue your hand control, and leave them with no cards. And then Mystical Space Typhoon, reinforcement of the army, because we have a good bit of warriors in here. We'd like to search for our little warrior package right here. And then triple smoke grenade of Thief. You want to see this. You want to see Gearfried. You want to know what is in your opponent's hand. United We Stand. I threw this in and was like, I don't think it's that good, but I really like United We Stand, so I wanted to put it in the deck. And yeah, so it's in here. It also just increases our overall count of equipped spells. So there is that. It makes sure the power tool is live. And yeah, it's a fun card that you can slap on a breaker or something and make your attacks really high. Then we have Triple Blast with Chain. Blast with Chain is an awesome card. It targets one face-up monster you control, equips it to that monster, and then it gains 500 attack. Cool, so we're boosting 500. You can use this in the damage step because it is an attack modification cards. And if this card is destroyed by a card effect while equipped, target one card on the field, destroy that target. So it has a nice little plus that you can use it with the Gearfried to simply pop cards. It's a free pop. You get to destroy stuff. You can use it with your other monsters to make them bigger, so when your opponent attacks into them, they just die because they thought they were going to be able to run you over, and then they couldn't. And again, like I said, you use it in damage step, and it has the same principles of Compulse in that you can use it on Gearfried after attack declaration, and then use it to pop the monster that you're attacking if your opponent only has one monster, and then do the replay where you continue your attack and your opponent can no longer mirror force, deprison, etc. because you're already past the attack declaration phase. It is just a replay. So it does have that same little interaction with Compulse where it's a spot removal and it gets around things your opponent doesn't see coming. So we have the triple compulsory. I went with Compulse over Bottomless over Deprison because I am on Mind Crush. And it just helps to know what your opponent has, what to control the game, and bouncing synchros is really strong. I think Compulse is amazing versus Vayu. There are games where obviously Compulse is not the greatest, like Frog Monarchs. You don't really want to Compulse a Caius so they can just Caius you again the next turn. So, you know, you'll side them out in matchups like that. And then, of course, we are on the Mind Crush, which in the video, you'll see me use it both times. I think the first time was really good. The second time, I didn't really know what to pick, so I just picked the card that I thought would be helpful. And then, of course, Mirror Force and Torrential. And because Trap Dust Shoot is not a real card, we are on 41 cards with the Trap Dust Shoot. I did misplay in the video with Trap Dust Shoot. You'll see that. And then for our side deck, we have not double Mobius, sorry. We have Mobius so that we can main 2 Mobius. We usually side a Thestalos out for it. It just, for those matchups where you really need to pop some back row, double Vanity's Fiend to slow down the decks that love special summoning, double Soul Exchange for when you want to just maybe side in all of the tributes, double Bottomless Trap Hole, double Pulling the Rug, double Royal Oppression because we don't really special summon much. And also when you side out the Treeborn, you'll side in the Oppression. Maybe you want to side in the Soul Exchanges. So it all goes together like that. This is all the theory crafting in my head. Like I said, I have not tested the deck too much. I would love some input on the deck. Comment below if you have any ideas on how to improve this deck. But I do think it's fun. I do not think it's going to be tier 1 or anything like that. But I think it's a fun control deck that, controls people. Haha, pun intended. Okay, so we have double trap stun for the back row heavy decks, and then we couldn't really decide the decree because some games maybe you want Treeborn and the trap stuns, and then power pickaxe, which is our DD Crow equipped spell that we can search with power tool search with hidden armory. Overall, just a decent little tech card. And then for our extra deck, it is pretty standard. We're on Catastor, Black Rose, Armor Master, Bryo, Colossal. We play Flamboyant Urquizus because we have the United We Stands. We had the Blast with Chains, so being able to do piercing damage is big. Big unexpected damage is always great, so that is our extra level 6. We have Goyo, Arcanite Magician because breakers are spellcasters, so why would we not play Arcanite? We could go Breaker, Pop, Gale, sync into Arcanite, Pop, if your opponent has just some insane board. We have Magical Android, which is almost impossible to go into. It's not impossible, but, you know, same with the Cataster. It's not impossible, but, you know, you're more likely not going to go into those. The Power Tool Dragon, which once per turn, you can reveal 3 equip spells from your deck. Then your opponent randomly adds one of them to your hand and shuffle the other cards into the deck. And if this card would be destroyed while equipped with an equipped spell, you can send one of those cards to the graveyard instead. So pretty cool thing here with the Power Tool Dragon. It lets you search out triple Smoke Grenade if you want to. You can search out Smoke Grenade and a combination of United We Stand and Autonomous Action Unit, all depending on what's left in your deck. And then, of course, we have Stardust, Thought Ruler. We have Mistworm because it's possible to make Mistworm thanks to Treeborn Frog. We have the Tempest Magician because we do play the Breaker, and maybe we have a bunch of spells and traps in our hands, and we can just burn for 1,500 and win the game. And then Urbellum because hand control is hand control is hand control, and we're trying to control the hand. So it's another generic 7 that we can play. So this deck is based off of a deck from, I believe, like 2005, 2006, somewhere around there. I don't exactly remember when. A guy played this at a Shonen Jump Championship and almost got top 8 with it. However, he did not manage to get in. So I took his build and simply updated it a little bit for Edison, changed around some of the cards that simply are not legal in Edison. And yeah, so it's a fun deck, and I do recommend trying it out. So big fan of the Compulses. Didn't really draw them like I wanted to, but big fan of the card currently in the current meta. So let's jump into that replay, right, guys? So for this replay, let's go ahead, fast forward. I do lose the rock, paper, scissors. We'll just jump next play. So my opponent opens up pretty busted here. He has the Gateway, he has the Zanji, he has the Grandmaster. So yeah, he searches out another Grandmaster, which, yeah, that's an okay play, all things considered. But I have Mind Crush in hand, so it's going to go bad for him, as you can imagine. But I will say it's unfortunate that the time I had to test the deck, I ran into another very rogue deck like Six Samurai, because it doesn't allow me to show the true power of the deck. But it was a fun duel nonetheless, and if you want to critique my plays, please go ahead. I know I'm bad. So let's just jump forward. Next play, he does the shuffling. I open up, I'm like, all right, I have Cyber, Thestalos, Breaker. I'm like, maybe I'll go Cyber into Thestalos, and then if I hit the Grandmaster, then, you know, I don't need to Mind Crush it, and I can save the Mind Crush for later. And then, you know, just use Thestalos to run something over. You know, I was debating on what to do. I was like, do I really want to waste all my Cyber Dragons turn 1? Do I just want to go Cyber Dragon Breaker, break something? But in the end, I think I go for the greedy play because I really wanted to test this deck's potential. So I go Cyber Dragon into Thestalos. He does a big think here, sits for a few minutes before flipping the Bottomless. I declare the Thestalos, and we hit good old Anishi, and realizing it now, I do not think he burned with the effect. No, yeah, I did not realize he did not burn for 600, so yeah, he should have took 600 damage there. Forgot about that during the actual game. So I special summon another Cyber Dragon. I read Zanji to make sure it's only, you know, when he attacks that he gets to destroy stuff. So yeah, we just try to run over Zanji. And he's going to protect it by killing Grandmaster since he searched for Grandmaster. And I'm like, this is working out perfectly. So I set the Mind Crush, pass to him, and immediately just Mind Crush. But he has just all the good cards. I'm assuming he top decked the 6 Sam United. And he has everything he needed to out my board, so to speak. So yeah, he has Gateway, he has 6 Sam United, he had double Grandmaster, he had Anishi Shien's Chancellor, Bottomless, Zanji, Uriza, which honestly, yeah, I don't think his build of 6 Sams is super great. He has a few of the bricky ones in there, but hey, you know, this thing can attack directly, that's cool. He played through Gores. We simply summon, and yeah, you saw what I said here? Blast with Chain. Blast with Chain is so good. So he draws Rip Solidarity. He has a huge 2600 Zanji over there. And yeah, he's going to attack right into the Gearfried. I'm just like, yep, we Blast with Chain in. We pop in Zanji, because who cares about the back row? We just pop Zanji. I have Breaker. It's all good. So I draw into Thestalos, and I'm like, he doesn't have a hand, so we're just going to Breaker, pop Gateway. Or maybe I pop 6 Sam United, actually. Because I'm like, if he top decks, he could draw 2, whereas with the Gateway, all he could do was boost. So I think I go for the swing. Pretty sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure I popped 6 Sam United, yeah, because I did not want him to get the draw 2. I wanted to keep his advantage low, because he's only getting 1 card here, and as you can see, it's a Book of Moon. So he did not even get a 6 Sam. So he sets Book, and I'm like, okay, well, this is just game. I mean, if I autonomous action unit, I definitely would have won this turn. But I didn't know what he had set. I was like, did he just rip Mirror Force? I don't know, bro. Let's just try it. So we swing. He lets the Gearfried in. Kind of makes sense because Gearfried has a 1600 ass, whereas Breaker is only 1000 defense. So he books Breaker, passes, and I do believe he draws and amidst defeat. What did he draw? He drew Bottomless Return. Yeah, so had no way to stop Gearfried from getting in that ass. So we did draw one of the Gearfried combos with Blast with Chain. Fun stuff. All right. So let's jump into side decking. I made an error with side decking here. I forgot to take out the Trap Dust Chute. And you're going to see that pretty quickly. But yeah, I forgot to take out the Trap Dust Chute. And I sided out a Compulse instead when I should have sided out the Dust Chute. That's on me. So yeah, we finished side decking. He goes first. And this game is not going to last long. I would just fast forward so y'all can watch this ass whooping. All right. This man, again, opens up really strong with the Gateway. Okay, so he has Gateway Solidarity. Very fun. Summons Zanji, but this time he does not have Grandmaster. Thank goodness. So he has no Warrior, so Solidarity is not live. So I'm like, you know what? I have Cyber Dragon. I have Plague Spreader. Let me just try and Black Rose and see what happens, right? So we go for it. We go Cyber. We go Plague, and you can see I have this dead-ass Trap Dust Chute in my hand. We sink into Black Rose, and he flips Solemn Judgment. So, yeah, he negates Black Rose, and now he has Zanji, Solidarity, and Gateway of the 6. I set Torrential, I set Dust Chute. I should have set them in a different order. This ends up costing me the game. We pass turn, and I think he he main phase MSTs instead of in phase MSTs. Whatever, it's cool, you know, it happens. But, yeah, he's about to just crap on me. So he goes Summon Eru, bumps Gateway up. Special summons Shein, Great Shogun Shein, which, like, what? I'm just looking at it like, what? So, yeah, if I would have set Trap Dust Chute first, which I should have because it's a dead card and this is Dueling Book and people like to target the first thing you set. Anyway, so I would have had the Torrential live there. And, yeah, so he goes for Grandmaster. And, yeah, it's just game. Like, it's just OTK. Because all I have is a dead Trap Dust Chute. Whew. All right, so going to game 3, I get to go first, and I side out Trap Dust Chute. I open up with Enemy Controller, Heavy Storm, Bottomless, Gearfried, and United We Stand. United We Stand cannot go on Gearfried, unfortunately, but doesn't really matter. So this game is interesting in the fact that my opponent plays heavily into this Heavy Storm. Let's just go with that. So he's going to run out of cards really quickly, and I don't have a monster I can attack with, if you believe it or not. So let's just show what happens here so everybody can see. Again, opens up the nuts. He has Gateway. He has 6 Sam United. This man cooking, okay? He has opened Gateway turn 1 every game and has also had a 6 Sam United within the next turn. So he chooses to summon Yaichi and gets his counters, and then decides to boost Yaichi and crash, which unironically is a good play because I don't have any other monsters. However, if I had any other monsters, this was a terrible, terrible play. But yeah, it doesn't matter. So he gets that because I only have Bottomless set, and I can't exactly Bottomless Yaichi. So Yaichi dies, and I'm like, well, I got Heavy. and he has 4 set. So unless he has Solemn, I do not think he sided Starlight Road. Why would he have Starlight Road? I don't think he has it. He ain't gonna have Starlight. So we drop the heavy, and he has nothing. He has a Rivalry of the Warlords. He has Double-Edged Sword Technique, which is a dead card right now. So, you know, not sure why he set it turn 1, and then he only had that 6 Sam United. I, of course, lose Bottomless, which is fine, because I'm like, I have Torrential. I'll take the main sweep. So, yeah, he's down to 2 cards to my 4 just off of Heavy Storm. But unlucky for him, I don't have any monsters. He summons Yaichi, and, yeah, he starts poking, bro. He goes to town, just poking. So draw, I'm like, oh my goodness, where's a monster? I set Blast with Chain. He summons Zanji, gets a little greedy here, and he thumbs ups, and I'm like, nah, we're gonna Torrential, which there is something here that I'm not sure about. So like on the summon of Zanji, could he have called priority with Yaichi? That's something I'm not sure like how that works. I don't think you could, because it's not like a quick effect, right? And Zanji's the one being summoned, but the way priority works, I don't know. Somebody please tell me, could you priority Yaichi to pop my other card here? Because that was my main worry on flipping this Torrential. I was like, I don't feel like Googling it. I'm sure Google has the answer. But could he have summoned Zanji priority Yaichi? Or does the priority only pertain to the card that's being summoned since I am responding to the summon? Right? Maybe he could. Maybe he could. Please tell me in the comments if you know the answer. I would love to know. And yeah, so now I'm still up 4 cards instead of his 2 to his 1. And we see it is Spirit of the 6, which I'm going to see that here in a second anyway. So I draw Smoke Grenade, a Thief. So I have full combo here. I Blast with Chain, Smoke Grenade, but I do not have Gearfried, the Iron Knight. And I draw another Mobius. And I'm like, oh no, where are my small monsters? I set Econ since I don't have any more defensive traps. He has nothing and passes. I set Mind Crush because I'm like, I don't think I'm a Sea Treeborn. It's fine. And I could pretty much activate all these if I wanted to anyway, except, of course, the Blast with Chain. He summons Zanji, and I'm like thinking, and I'm like, it's okay. I'll let that go through. I'll keep the enemy controller for something better. Then I rip Breaker for turn, and I'm like, bruh. We're good. We're Gucci. It's fine. I have Breaker. I have Smoke Grenade. I'm about to clear his field. I'm about to pick a card out of his hand. And I have Mind Crush. So I'm about to hit 2 cards off of this 1 Breaker thanks to all of this and destroy the monster he has because Breaker is 19. So we go for that play. We run over Zanji for 100. And then we Smoke Grenade a Thief. We pop our own card. And he shows me his hand. And it's Gateway of the 6, Uriza, and will it show it here? No, so it was Gateway of the 6, Uriza, and Spirit of the 6 Samurai, which we already knew. Oh wait, I can just show it here. What am I doing? So Gateway 6, Spirit of the 6 Samurai. I choose the Gateway because I just used Breaker, and I don't want him ripping like a Grandmaster. I can get rid of one of his monsters, but I can't get rid of all of them. So I chose Gateway over the monster because I was like, I'll just Mind Crush like Spirit because Spirit's one of the better monsters, and I don't care about Uriza. Simply put, I don't care. I don't respect it. I don't respect the Uriza. Sorry. So he loses the Gateway. He draws for turn. He's like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, it's fine. I was lagging. Like this lagged super hard when I played it. I go Mind Crush. I call Spirit of 6. Discard it. You know, he has nothing. He does not summon the Uriza because all he could do was just poke, and, you know, why poke into 2 back row? And at this point, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this game is over. I'm down in life points, but I'm so far ahead in everything else. I have the back row destruction. I have Econ. I have Blast with Chain. Only a heavy would really, like, mess me up here. And if he summons before heavying, then, you know, we're going to pop off with the Blast with Chain. So, yeah, we swing, do our damage. I've evened it out. He draws 6 Sam United, and I'm like, okay, cool. So he goes Uriza. I'm like, cool. And he uses 6 Sam United, and he rips Solidarity. So I check his grave, and I'm like, oh, cool. Solidarity is live. This is going to be fun. So I'm like, is he going to swing directly for 1,800? Or is he going to try and take out Breaker? And in my mind, I'm thinking maybe he should have just swung directly, right? Because then it forces me to have to crash DD Warrior Lady. But then, you know, I still have the breaker. I don't know, right? I don't know. So he does decide to swing on breaker, which, like I said, not good for him because Uriza is only 18 and I have Blast with Chain. So we Blast with Chain. Breaker goes to 21. 6 Sam Uriza goes down 1821. He loses 300 damage. And then I'm like, oh, I have Tomato. This is just like game, right? Like, what does he have? Trag? Like, no way. So I summon the Tomato. I could have United We Stand, but I summon the Tomato, and that is that. We win the game with the deck, and we lost connection. Of course we did. Deck Constructor. All right, so the deck was a lot of fun. I highly recommend trying it. I don't think it's going to be like the greatest deck ever. It obviously loses advantage quickly, but it can also gain a lot of advantage depending on how it is played and what you draw. And I really just like playing hand control, if I'm going to be honest with you. Thestalos is one of my favorite cards in the game, and I really just want to play Thestalos and Gearfried with Smoke Grenade. I have a playset of first edition smoke grenades, and it's now banned, as you can see in real life, so I want to use those. So maybe I will play this deck on Sunday. Maybe not. Depends on if I can find all the cards. I have them all. It's just a matter of like physically finding them. Yeah, let me know down below what you think of this deck. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, and check back tomorrow for What's Cooking Wednesday, which will probably be a Marvel Snap video because new season and all that good stuff starts tomorrow. See you next time, guys.